MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High-dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Robert, it's yellow and green. I'm so happy. Happy, Robert, that we thrashed the team that always thought they are the best. It was just a lesson. Mabagabak, you must respect elders.
I think singing is your second calling, man. You know, when you put Barry White to shame, then you know you're rocking.
To Bohoma corner! Firecracker to ignite Loftus!
Congratulations to Masandavana, and we are celebrating for one reason. Thank you to the incoming player of the season, players of the season, which is Lucas Rubero Costa.
Through for Hibero! He's done it again!
No, we are eating nice. Thank you very much. Pirates should have included, I think, Mofokeng as well as Tito, Emblency, Nandi Petri, Yasetembisa. Thank you, Tarop.
I don't think too many people will argue against, Lucas Ribeiro and him being right now the top. He's an outstanding player. You can't talk anything more. You can't talk somebody who provides the assist, somebody who creates goals, scores goals.
Through for Hibero!
Ngithi cha le yebhakabhaka neSundowns sibonile mina ngumlandeli wePirates ovuma induku akukho nje futhi okunye mfethu engizolokhu ngiyale nalena ngikhala ngabapha abadlali kwenze njani fona nje sivuma induku sivuma ukuthi kulokho Sundowns was superior.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
All right, brace yourselves. It is the Tuesday edition of Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947. Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
It certainly is the main event, and that's why we just wanted to let it sink in a little bit, because no greater night than tonight as far as the UEFA Champions League is concerned. Real Madrid facing Manchester City in the new playoff round of Champions League that starts tonight in what will be the fourth season in a row that the two clubs have met in the knockout stages. So Madrid eliminated Man City in the quarterfinals 1 year ago, and in two epic semi-finals before lifting the trophy in 2022. Now City won the semi-final, meeting decisively in 2023 on the way to its first European Cup title. Their manager, the evergreen Carlo Ancelotti.
I'm surprised. Of course, I'm surprised. They had a period where for them was difficult to move on, to pass through the difficulties, the injuries, and they lost points. But now the team that I saw in the last 2 or 3 games is a good team, really competitive team. As usual, I have a doubt to think that Man City is not so strong. Man City is really strong with fantastic player and, as I said, with a fantastic manager.
Ancelotti also spoke on the club's decision not to attend the Ballon d'Or after Rodri won the Player of the Year over Vinicius Jr.
I don't think it was a wrong decision. It was a decision. We didn't want to participate because we thought that Vinicius was the winner of the Ballon d'Or, and this doesn't mean that we have no respect of Rodri that won the Ballon d'Or, and because he's a fantastic player. But I think I thought that Rodrigo deserved to win the year before.
Manager of Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, downplayed any tensions between Man City as well as Real Madrid following the Spanish club's decision to skip last year's Ballon d'Or ceremony in apparent protest.
Any hard feelings?
Absolutely not.
What were your thoughts of that when it happened?
Happy for Rodri. Vinicius making an extraordinary year as well, could deserve it, like in the past when Messi Cristiano was fighting for that. So, but the subject is over.
So Real Madrid, now strengthened by Kylian Mbappe, who has scored 9 goals in his last 8 matches, remained a formidable opponent. Guardiola acknowledged, though, that it would be nearly impossible to neutralize the attacking prowess of Madrid stars, including Jude Bellingham, Rodrigo, Enrique, as well as the full 90 minutes that lie ahead.
But it's impossible in 90 minutes, 180 minutes or 200 minutes, depends extra time to control these 4 players. They are, everybody knows, so I don't say anything new. They are exceptionals, so how they combine, how the runners, the ability in 1 against 1, how they keep the ball, so all 4 they are exceptional, so everybody knows it. So have to reduce his involvement as much as possible, knowing that is going to happen, accept it.
And also City defender Ruben Diaz also downplayed any negative feelings about Madrid's absence at the awards, also emphasizing that he was focused on celebrating Rodri's achievement.
Being very honest with you, I didn't spend 1 second thinking about if he was disrespectful or not. I was happy with Rodri. I was there. I celebrated with him that night, and I was very happy for him, as I believe everyone at the club was. Well, we've played against him many times before, and even then he was not just him the main threat. He was Neymar at some point, then Messi as well. So we've had our encounters of teams that have that flexibility in terms of who can make the difference. And in the end, when you get to this level of the Champions League, that's what you get from Madrid or from everyone else. Obviously, we know that they have a special ability to be more flexible than maybe the most of the teams, and that's why we need to be really good and very solid at the back. The more solid we are at the back, the more comfortable we'll be in the game.
Other top games happening tonight in Europe. Brest playing against PSG. You also got Juventus playing against PSV. Man City, as we've mentioned, taking on Real Madrid. Sporting and Borussia Dortmund. They conclude what is a big night, an important night of football coming up later on in the evening. Also late this afternoon, which is away from the UEFA Champions League, but back home as far as local football is concerned, there was a statement, a media release that came through from the Premier Soccer League saying that in light of the latest legal developments, the Premier Soccer League has no option but to postpone the Nedbank Cup fixture number 21 featuring Royal AM / Milford FC versus Sekhukhune United to a date to be confirmed. So Sekhukhune United will still wait and see and look over their shoulders, wondering what's happening. The PSL then went on to say that they apologize for any inconvenience this may cause to the affected member clubs, PSL partners and supporters. Also, further updates will be communicated as soon as the issues impacting the fixtures have been clarified. The league will not make further comments on this matter until then. So that's where it is. The Royal AM saga continues to hang in the air. Matches continue to be postponed. And pretty much nobody knows what the future lies. How many more postponements will be endured, but that's where it is. And they say that there is no further engagement moving forward. I don't know what your thoughts are on that one. But certainly that is the official line this afternoon coming through from the authorities.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Mickey, we were chatting about the possibilities of AS FAR having the signature, or maybe they've shown intent towards a Fadlu Davids. Is that likely to happen?
I think
towards this season, I don't think so. Because there is no way Simba are going to let him leave. He has shown that he can win the league in Tanzania. They stand a great chance. Today, Yanga drew goalless, so it means that it's just 2 points between the two teams, and so they stand a bigger chance of going on top of the table.
Were you surprised by Ramovic and what happened and his sudden departure?
Maybe, in my opinion, I think yes, because looking at the way they brought him in Tanzania, they have to fire Gamondi. He got the trust from the board that he can do amazing job, and so maybe, I don't know, with him, maybe he also felt like, okay, there is another opportunity for him to challenge himself in Algeria, and so that's why he took that opportunity.
#MSW. #MSW.
All right, let me quickly remind you of the numbers that you can use in studio: 011-888-947, 011-888-947. Otherwise, you can send us a WhatsApp voice note on 060-708-0484, 060-708-0484. And just as a by the way, 485 days left until the groundbreaking FIFA World Cup 2026. I don't know if you've bought your tickets, but if you have, smart move. Talk about smart moves, though. I don't know if they're not allowing him to make smart moves in his career, and that is why he's here today to pretty much unpack many of those and other related stories. Is he persona non grata as far as football in SA is concerned? Why isn't it going his way these days? And that is why my guest tonight is a seasoned footballer renowned for his tenacity on the field. And I think the last time we spoke, he had just parted ways with Sekhukhune United and was training with Marawa Gallants. And I'm very thrilled, though, to have him here to share both the personal as well as some of the professional challenges that he has faced and also continues to face up until today. I'm sure he'll offer a little bit of insight into those obstacles that have made life very difficult for him to secure a spot in any team. He's usually a very straight shooter. He calls a spade, very candid. Look at all of these struggles that athletes encounter as they navigate their careers. He'll also give us a glimpse as well into the reality of being a professional footballer, including the challenges of being labeled a bad boy. I don't know if he is still labeled a bad boy. I look at his image, the wild dreadlocks are gone. He looks like he could be heading off to Sunday school right now. Hey, giving motivation, clean cut. Let's welcome him into studio, ladies and gentlemen. Edwin Gyimah, good to see you, sir. Welcome.
Welcome. Good to see you, Mr. Robert.
How are you doing?
Yeah, very good. Very good. Yeah.
Is that you being honest with me? Are you very good?
What can I say? Because that's the normal thing everybody will say. But
I don't want you to be normal. Today is not a day to be normal.
I'm not okay.
Now you're talking, because otherwise, if we had a lie detector monitor there, it would have beeped, because it would have detected that you are not telling the truth.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So on a normal day, you would say you're good, but you're not.
Yeah.
Why?
Because, Mr. Robert, I think probably this is my third time coming here.
Yeah.
And there's some things going through my career and my professional career, and it's affecting my family, even my kids when they go to school, and even asking questions whereby I can't answer. I don't know who is behind all this, what is going on. And probably sometimes people who are in this situation always say they use those kind of phrases, and you don't know they, and you don't know who is behind, but probably maybe there can be some higher power, and some higher power that you as a player or you as an individual don't have a control over what is happening, and it's also being used by a media, so a media house. So that's what I've been facing. And Mr. Robert, when people watch social media, they believe in what social media says because they haven't met you personally to ask why and what. So I believe probably that media house who comes out every time with the stories that they put out, I believe sometimes they could even ask me, interview me and ask Gyimah, this is what we've heard about you. Is it true and what is really going on? But, Mr. Robert, that media house, I won't say they, because that media house posts what he feels like posting, without even calling or asking.
Okay, let's be straightforward. Who said what about you?
I was in Ghana.
Yeah.
I was in Ghana this January. I went to Ghana. So there's this agent that texted me a message. So I responded to the message and he was speaking about, I don't know if I have to mention the team or probably.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, Magezi. So he was like, Magezi wants you, they want you to be part. And the way the agent spoke, it was good. And I was like, okay, no, sharp, everything is fine because already I know the terrain in Polokwane. I know how things are being done there. So I was willing to be there because I wanted to play soccer. So I came in the country. He forced me, rushed me and all that. I came in the country on the 23rd. Then I was supposed to be in Polokwane on the next Tuesday. So he said, no, the club wants you. They want you to be there. So I went there on Monday. I was supposed to be there Tuesday, but I went on Monday because he said I must be there on Monday. So when I got there, the next day, I trained and I found out that the agent left to Joburg and the team manager also went to a funeral. So
the people that told you to go to Magesi were not there?
Yeah, they were not there. So I was like, okay, then let me just come back home, be with my family.
Yeah.
Because all this while I'm not working and the budget that I've been making also is about my family and the kids and all that. So for me to stay in Polokwane, to waste that money, I need to come back home and, be with the kids and probably spend with them. So I came back and the agent called me and he explained why he went to Joburg and the team manager was not away. So I was like, okay, cool. But can they send me a contract?
Yeah.
Then I can come. So he kept on calling and trying to convince me and all that. So I was like, no, we need a contract. So my wife also spoke. She spoke to them and they were like, okay, fine, you send your contract. But when the contract came, it was an empty contract. No signature from the club, no signature from the CEO, no signature from the team manager. The date that I need to start the contract was not there. The date that I need to terminate the contract was not there. It was all about rules and regulations in the contract. So I told the agent, I'm not signing that contract because it's empty. He kept on convincing me and he made me feel like I'm the bad guy and he's the victim. So
empty contract. Pause there. When I come back from the break, I want to find out more because I've never, ever in my life heard about a contract for a professional football player in a professional league at a professional club that offers an empty contract.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
Tired of searching for love in the wrong places? Looking for someone to share your nuggets? To give you their very last fry? Well, this Valentine's Day, McDonald's is making happy happen by turning their app into a dating app where couples are matched based on their favorite meal. Those lucky few who are matched will be treated to a 5-star first date on Valentine's Day. To get in on all this excitement, just download the McDonald's app and enter your details as well as your meal preferences. T's and C's apply.
Are you ready to explore your beautiful country in style? With Lekker user-friendly accommodation booking app, finding the perfect stay has never been easier. Whether you're dreaming of a beach escape, a bush retreat, or a city adventure, Lekker Slaap has you covered with thousands of stays for every budget. Join millions of happy South Africans who book their stays on Lekker Slaap. Download the Lekker Slaap app today and easily book your next holiday.
Big news! Deal or No Deal has awarded over 7.5 million rand cash and continues to change lives. So, join me, Katlego, and stand to win up to 250,000 rand by registering on dealornodealsa.tv. Catch Deal or No Deal weekdays on SABC2 at 11 a.m. or 6:30 p.m. and on SABC3 at 5:30 p.m. Proudly sponsored by LottoStar.
LottoStar is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18s. National Responsible Gambling Program. 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
Dear Journal, day 4,615 of trying to be an adult. Had my first run club last night. Not too sure if it was 5 kilometers or 3 beers, but I am one broken man. Can't be the 35 years of age, right?
Aggressively realizing your age? Get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's simple and like 19 Rand a day, so it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
They say he wears flip-flops to black tie events. They say he doesn't know the difference between work and play. That he graduated top of his class from the school of life. And when his mama told him to get a job, he hired himself. If you like doing things your way, then live outside the box in the all-new Hyundai Exter. With a sunroof, 6 airbags and more, the Hyundai Exter is yours from just 2,899 per month. 96 months term, 11.7% linked interest rate, brought to you by Hyundai Finance, a division of Netbank Limited, an authorized FSP. T's and C's apply.
Experience more unbeatable deals this Big Deal Wednesday at Food Lovers Market. Buy 2 200-gram white button mushroom punnets for only 35 Rand and get 1 packet of tomatoes absolutely free. And enjoy delicious gammon steaks at an incredible 79.99 per kilo. Now that's great value. Valid this Wednesday only at all Western Cape Food Lovers Market stores. It's in the experience.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Mickey Jr., welcome to the show. It's been, in the air for some time, and I did, chat to some of the Benny McCarthy camp regarding the potential move to go and coach the national team of Kenya.
Yeah, my understanding is that there's already an agreement in place with Benny to become the head coach of Kenya national team. But the issue now is that Kenya, the former coach, took them to FIFA due to unpaid, money, salaries, bonuses and stuff like that. So they are hoping to clear that first. They need to clear that first situation there. And with Kenya now, they have a new FA president. But my understanding is that Benny has already agreed to become the next head coach of Kenya national team.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
All right, any questions or comments, please do reach out on the WhatsApp voice note. Otherwise, do call us directly in studio. 011-883-8947. Our guest tonight, former Sekhukhune United defender Edwin Gyimah, my guest until the top of the hour. We're also live on the YouTube channel, so any questions or comments, please post them there. You can look, listen, and decide, as the Stimela used to say back in the day. But an important point, as we're heading into the break, that Edwin Gyimah was relaying to us was about being given a contract that is empty, but instead it's a so-called contract that has rules. So how are they giving you that? Are you representing yourself, by the way, or do you have at the time an agent with you, or is it just Gyimah versus the Magesi management?
It's Gyimah versus the world.
The world, eh?
Yeah.
That's how it feels like right now.
That's how it feels like, yeah.
So the people that went to funerals and other things that they had to attend, instead of attending to you as agreed, they never showed up.
No one called me, even after signing the contract. Probably when a contract is signed, and probably if the player is not agreeing to the terms, maybe the team manager can easily come in and say, try to convince in a certain way. But there's no call, there's nothing. But that agent, I don't want to mention his name because your platform is very big, and to mention his name is gonna probably maybe endorse him and all that. So
well, it's up to you.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be your agent, isn't he?
No, there's no contract. It's sort of like those guys that they have a relationship with clubs and they can easily talk to clubs and all that. Yeah.
So he doesn't really represent your interests.
I don't really know if he is, because this person claims, and I know him from Super Sports. I used to give him money and even probably boots. And he always keep on saying this, that Gyimah, what you did for me those times in Super Sports is always in his heart. So for that person has been used.
Mm-hmm.
And those times he came to the media and he said certain things about me that was not okay. But I said, okay, fine. We are all human beings, So let me just.
So you forgave him?
Yeah. So and probably you don't know where help comes from.
But then isn't that the problem though, that at times when somebody tarnishes your image, because your image is certainly your ticket to your next great success story. So if you don't have your image and bad things have been written about you, wrong things have been written about you, a particular source is responsible for writing those things, you can never get your image back. There is no way.
It's true, Mr. Robert, and that's what probably I'm here to say, because there's this media house called Far Post.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that they publish about me is in a certain way that I don't like. Behind the scenes, sometimes call me, threatens me to speak, whilst I don't want to speak. There are things that is going on behind the scene that people are not aware, but they portray it in the media.
Mm-hmm.
That make it look good. But behind the scene, Mr. Robert, I've been crying. My wife has been crying. My kids, they are so worried about me. And my child bears my name, Edwin Gyimah. And he keeps on asking me that, Daddy, when are you going to play? When are you going to do this?
Mm-hmm.
And when I go to the malls and walk outside, people, the love is still there. The love is still there. People even always tell me, Gyimah, this team is what, can you join them and all that? But sometimes I just say it in my mind that you don't know what is going on.
Sure.
Yeah. So with that media house, that media house has ruined my reputation. They have ruined my reputation. And I believe that 2015, when I was in AFCON for Ghana, I believe that media house wasn't there. And maybe probably those working there was schooling or trying to educate themselves in the media publicity and all that. So they must take their time, because they deal with a name that is not just easy. This name was originated in an ancestral way. So my name is Edwin Gyimah, but it has a background very deeper. And I found myself, the only time when I came, I said, I'm finding myself, because the name is so bigger than, it's a deity. It's not something to joke about that probably maybe a media house can just,
destroy it.
Yeah.
So hear me out here. And I need to be fair and very balanced, because that is a responsibility that I have to carry.
Yeah.
Right. So ordinarily, one would need to give Far Post a right of response.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Far Post are individuals who have an editor that I know very well, Ntokozo Dube.
Yeah.
Right. He comes on and is a contributor on this show on a regular time, and we take his word as a very responsible, reliable source of information.
True.
Right? Yep. So what we would do, and you would have all the freedom to also challenge, is do an immediate right of response, okay? To get him onto the line.
Yep.
And we will delve into the things that you are unhappy about, but he would have an immediate right of response.
Okay.
You'd be happy with that?
I'll be happy.
Okay. Just so that on all fronts, because I would hate for anybody to get to a stage where they are seen as, it's a free ride. You can go media bashing on that show and so on. No, we don't do that. We don't subscribe to that. It's an opinion that has come through very strongly from Gyimah and is somebody that we respect as well. But I think for the fairness and everything that journalistically is supposed to be done correctly, we will do it correctly. We will get him as the editor to come on. And I think the best way in terms of ventilating that is to put it out there. And I think you would agree with me with that, because you do feel that somewhere, somehow, your image has been tarnished, and you cannot right now, because the next thing I was going to ask you is that with all of these doors closing in your face, who is it that you've angered? Who is it that you've insulted?
Mr. Robert, for the past, let's say last year, for the whole of last year, I never kicked soccer. I've been in my, I've been in my space. I've been in my space quiet, watching PSL, and PSL has grown to become a bigger house in Africa. So, to watch the game and not kicking is somehow a feeling. So for me, I feel like that media house, fine, a name is bigger. A name is a name. The moment you start saying things about somebody that is not coming from the person, it becomes a problem. So with that media house, before they speak about me, probably they can call me, ask me, Gyimah, is what we are hearing, is it true or is not true? Then I can probably speak. But this media seems like is focusing on, probably the negative side of me. And Mr. Robert, 1 + 1, as they used to say, is 2. So Soccer Laduma came with a good news, and behind, I'm being given an empty contract. So that ends. Then Farpos came and said something that the contract is being in advance, or the talks are being in advance. That means there's a positive news. So behind the no is cut.
Sure.
So for them to post, then the later part of the equals to 1 + 1 is equal to 2. Then the last part, I don't know what they will say, because obviously they will say he couldn't sign a contract or due to this. But I wish they could come out and be specific of what they are saying, because I know Farpos is a genuine company, and their media house is very powerful and all that. But I don't want them, you hating an innocent soul. I come from a poor background, trying to do something for my family. And I've tried in the places that I went that people didn't wish I could go. I passed there without even thinking that I would go there. And when I came to this country, the love have been so massive. Even staying in the house, there's still love. There's still people pushing me all the way, motivating me all the way to, be in the PSL. So,
because you've been a very popular figure. It doesn't matter which club you are playing for. That's one thing I know for sure. Your presence in defense especially was always a presence that was feared by many. I think even Gavin Hunt, one of the coaches that I respect a lot, respected you. The glory that you were able to give is a glory that anybody can step forward and say, I mean, I can testify to Edwin Gyimah being the kind of great football player that he is. So one thing I can tell you is that the team has reached out to Farpost and reached out to the editor, Mthokozisi Dube, and in the next 15 minutes, he has promised that he'll come on the line to deal with this. Hopefully we'll have enough time for him to be able to clarify and put this to bed, because it is our right, it's our responsibility to do the responsible thing in hearing all of these stories. So in about 15 minutes or less, just stick around and then we will have him on the line.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to Edwin. Edwin, man, sorry about what happened to you there at Magesi. I think for what you have given to South African football, you don't deserve that type of treatment. But it's rather sad that we are hearing this in 2025 in South African football. And listening to your story and what has been said by Coach Clinton Larsen, I don't think Magesi is ready to be at this level, and the lack of professionalism there is quite concerning. Maybe it will be a best thing for the team to be relegated so that they can rethink their operating model and get professional people on board. Thank you so much, Tebogo.
Tebogo, thank you so much indeed. Saying the best possibility for them is to be relegated. I mean, it takes me back to the conversation I had with Clinton Lawson down in Durban on our studios post them winning a trophy, and a trophy that everybody was celebrating because it was a big deal for a team that's newly promoted to win. And against the Mamelodi Sundowns, that's a bigger deal indeed for them. But he said he didn't celebrate because he found it didn't make sense for him to celebrate. Deep down inside, he knew that his next move was not about bonus, was not about the trophy. It was about resignation. He was about to resign from a club that he has just brought glory to. So when you hear Tebogo say that, Edwin, it's directed to you. Anything you want to respond in terms of what he has said just now?
Yeah, because I feel like there must be an emergency. Because when I talk about emergency, it's like you check where you are in the league and the decisions that you take. For my situation, compared to what you just spoke, I believe like a big brand like Magezi is a big team, a top team in the PSL. You can't just be in the PSL for just sake. You've done so much to be
and
there.
And they've ended in a very difficult league.
It's a very so for them to for this decision or this thing to go this way, I feel like probably maybe they are mistaken somewhere, and probably maybe I feel like okay, somehow they are not doing the right thing, because if you need the player, because how the messages came, it was like, we need you, we want you to play this game just now. So for you wanting a player to play the next game and you give him an empty contract.
But that contract, when you said had rules, what sort of rules were these?
When I just checked, it was so many rules, not coming to training. There's this tag, Mr. Robert. There's this tag on me. And these people when I use the word these people, nobody knows them, but they've been using this thing because they know the incident that happened between me and Mushin. So they're using this kind of anger, this angry thing, that emotion, and they've always turned it in a different way. They've always, Mr. Robert, I've once begged somebody in an office not to tarnish my image. I've once begged, cried, please don't come out. Whilst the person knows that I'm right, he knows.
But they wanted to tarnish your image.
Yeah, they just want. So
for what though? What's the purpose? What do they gain?
I don't know, because sometimes I feel like when you have something and you're not aware of what you are carrying, people intend to come in a different way. Yeah, and before you realize, then all this. So it's very difficult for people to understand when you're speaking this way, because people have different opinions. But I'm not the first person that having this kind of experience and feeling this way.
Yeah, but you also don't want to be just a statistic to say, I'm not the first, I'm the third, I'm the fourth. There's only one Edwin Gyimah. There's only one Edwin Gyimah. So that Edwin Gyimah, you need to put cotton wool around him, secure him, put electric fences around him, make sure that there's nobody who's going to mess around with you. Just a quick one there, just coming off everybody that's watching and listening on the YouTube channel. Game Gamer says that soccer can be so unfair to some players sometimes. Edwin is very, very unlucky. Abraham Dumelomoloy says, in South African football, if you ask questions and fight for your rights, you become a bad person and to be sabotaged. We've also got Vlada Jr. who says, with the privilege of watching you live, I can see the pain in this man's eyes. I am so sorry, man. I hope you can see in our screens very soon. Stay strong together with your wife and kids. It says lots of love. We have as well Ilanga Simon says, thank you very much indeed for trying to get him. Thokozisi Dube from Far Post. Karabo Makwetla says he looks like he is in pain. What a quality player. Nati says, this is so sad. Stay strong, Edwin. This too shall pass. An ad break can never pass. We've got to take it.
Hashtag MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. Hashtag MSW.
Feel the luck this summer with Hollywood Bets. You could win a Toyota Starlet Cross or a share of 100,000 Rand when you bet 5 Rand or more on lucky numbers UK 49's evening or afternoon draws. Ready for your meeting with Lady Luck? Bet now. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
The Checkers Extra Savings Extravaganza is back with new deals every week. Like Doritos Corn Chips, 145 grams, any 3 for 55 Rand. Flora, 40% light, 50% regular or 60% gold fat spread. 500 grams, any 3 for 99 Rand. And Huggies Gold Jumbo Pack or Extra Care Nappies or Pants for $229.99 per pack. Valid until 16 February only at Checkers and Checkers Hyper or shop on 6060.
Hey, my Valentine. You know, I really like the way you... 2 Rand for a KFC Streetwise 2. Limited to the fastest few. Plus, buy one, get one free daily deals. I go... Baby, I gotta go. But don't worry, we're eating good tonight.
Serve up the romance this Valentine's with KFC's fastest first deals. Download the KFC app now. T's and C's apply. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
We weren't born to stand still. You know what I'm talking about. The itchy feet, constantly on the hunt for the next hustle, the next adventure, the next horizon. We get it. It's in our DNA. This inner drive to push, own our path, and be more. Which is why we're excited to introduce the all-new Suzuki Jimny 5-door.
The Suzuki Jimny 5-door, born for the urban jungle and more. Now with extra space, wireless connectivity, and rear-view camera. Suzuki Jimny 5-door, born for more. Available from 429,900.
People always say that time is money, but they never tell you how much time equals how much money. Well, at Lula, we'll tell you right now that 24 hours equals up to 5 million Rand. Yep, you heard right. At Lula, you can get up to 5 million Rand in funding for your business in as little as 24 hours. So if your business needs access to funds, and time is money, don't delay. Visit lula.co.za today and make cash flow.
Are you looking for the best spectacle and sunglass deal? With Specsavers buy one, get one offer, you get great value for money. You know you can trust us with over 350 stores nationwide. Get a free pair of branded prescription sunglasses up to 3,200 Rand when you purchase a comprehensive eye test and spectacle frame with lenses on your first pair. Choose from top brands like Police, Hugo, Tommy Hilfiger, Carolina Herrera, and more. There really is no reason to go anywhere else. Affordable eye care, Specsavers. T's and C's apply.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Sabang, good evening.
Yes, we understand when the results are not going wrong, but we are looking at the bench. It's looking thin in terms of the wingers of the team. We just want to ask, where is this player? We have seen the club statement, but we don't understand. It's been game after game, game after game. Where is Saleh?
What do you suspect is happening? Because we all read the statement that came through from Pirates.
I don't know, Taro, because of there is some clips where we see him training. All of a sudden you think match day he'll be there, but he's not there.
Maybe he's not producing.
No, I don't think so. He's a player that has produced for the coach. But we have realized that the team has released 2 winners, Otladisa and Gilberto. I mean, if we had one of those, I mean, probably one could slot in maybe Sayana forward. But if you know that we have released players, then you still have a winner who's a match winner and is not playing. It's a cause for concern.
#MSW. #MSW.
Good evening, Mr. Rob. It's Fulfilang here, and good evening to the MSW shoulders, and good evening to Edwin Gyimah. You know what's weird? It's weird to see any PSL team that does not have Edwin Gyimah. I just actually wanna find out what has happened between himself and Skukuni United. Is that relationship over? Is he training with another club? Is he even playing football, let alone maybe training with another club? Does he wish to play football, or has he thought about retirement? I mean, we haven't seen him on the pitch so far this season, and we've played more than half the games so far this season. There's no sign of Edwin Gyimah. What's happening there? Is he wanting to... What is happening with Edwin Gyimah? That's actually what I want to find out. Good show as always. Thanks.
Evening, Big Rob, and evening to Edwin Gyimah. Mr. Gyimah, this is a sad story, to be quite honest, because I know that you just want to play football, but don't you think mentioning the agent will help the football fraternity, will help future players that might think that he's an honest agent? And secondly, don't you think that he kind of benefited from, I don't know, from Makesi maybe, because as you're saying that he insisted that you sign the contract and you eventually disagreed? Don't you think, have you done maybe a little bit of investigation to find out why he wanted you to sign that contract so badly? Thank you, Mr. Marawa.
All right, some valid questions that are coming through. If you're wondering, my guest tonight is Edwin Gyimah, former Sekhukhune United defender. One of the questions, though, that came through from Holifelang was about Sekhukhune. He was saying that what happened, just in brief and summary, I think a lot of us know what happened, but how would you summarize the end game of your relationship with Sekhukhune?
Sekhukhune is a beautiful club. I've been watching your games, and every time I speak to my wife, I'm like, how is Sekhukhune doing?
Yeah.
You know, and you can see the recruitment they've done. Quality players in Bule coming, you know, Tabang coming, you know, these beautiful, exciting players. I've watched them lively on the stadium. I've gone to Polokwane to watch them. They've grown so bigger and bigger, and I admire. You know, it's so beautiful to to be with a club and leaving a good legacy, and also people coming out also to do the same. So it's beautiful. I've been watching them, and I love Sekhukhune. I always love them because that is a club that probably maybe in my mind, for myself, I feel like there was a 10 point around there, and the chairman is so good, the family is so good. They respected me, I respected them also. They gave their support, and we respect them. We've always been watching them.
And the thing is, I love the fact that they just keep away from the spotlights. Brajonas and everybody else is. Nobody even knows who the chairman of Sekhukhune is. And I think that is a good thing, because you don't want people who are the backers, whether financially or the head of the administration, should be the ones dominating the headlines. I think the less heard about them, the better.
Yep.
And that's how they've been able to improve Sekhukhune. We must just know that Lihlonolo Siema is the head coach, and the football players are doing well, that they're qualifying for the top 8, and so the story should continue. That for me works, and it works wonders as well. Just before I go to Mthokozi Sitube, and I thank him so much for coming on. He is on hold right now. One of the questions was that should you not mention the name of the agent so that it helps others who are in a similar position to say, oh, there's that name, let me avoid that person?
Because this guy, I don't know, it's called, it's very difficult, because at the end of the day, he needs to eat.
So is he allowing you to eat now? You're not eating.
Yeah, but he's called Rush, A lot of players knows him. Yeah, he's called Rush. And I'm surprised, because I've once helped him before with money, soccer boots, techies and all that. And he has always kept on saying that. So I believe whatever he's doing is good. But one thing I want Far Post, that media, to understand is, you are not taking the bread out from me. You are taking 20 people. Because even staying in the house, I'm not taking care of my wife and my kids. There are people still depending on me. And the money doesn't come from anywhere. It's still coming from my pocket. So also going to Polokwane, there was a budget that I budgeted, and I needed to come into the team, meet the team in the halfway to play soccer for 6 months, not thinking about finances and all that, just, to be in a good space. Because I believe when you have to meet Sundowns, Pirates, Chiefs, these players are in a good space. Yes. Their mind is sound and healthy. So to perform in that stage with those players, they can do so many things that you are not capable of doing.
I mean, some of these top clubs, never mind just a salary. They get taken care of in terms of their pension funds. They're taken care of in terms of their medical aids. It's not just about a salary. They say, okay, let us agree that this is your salary, but we take a portion, and on your behalf, we put it towards your medical aid. Yes, you get medical treatment from the club, but over and above that, you will be guaranteed that if the threshold is already reached, you can therefore be able to look after yourself and your family with that medical aid. All right, let's use the opportunity as well, and let me thank him for showing up at the last minute. Mthokozisi Dube is the Far Post editor. Mthokozisi, thank you so much for your time. Good evening.
Good evening, Rob. Good evening to Edwin and the listeners.
It would have been amiss of me to allow the name of Far Post to be used and spoken about here without giving you the right of response, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. Edwin Gyimah mentioned not once but several times that he's been very unhappy about the publication publishing untruths about him, and it is now, as you heard from his unsolicited statement right now, saying that it's contributing towards not only starving him but starving an entire household of him not earning as a result of the perception and reputation that has been built around him. So how do you respond to that, Mthokozisi?
Maybe I think I'd seek clarity in terms of which, because I think we've done a couple of stories about him. Which story is he referring to?
In particular, okay, Edwin, which story in particular stands out for you that you say tarnished your image?
All the stories.
All of them?
Everything that they've posted from Far Post.
Okay.
But maybe be a bit specific so I understand.
Is there a recent one, Edwin? I mean, throw us into your confidence here right now. Is there one particular one, and what was said about you?
I've watched this particular media house, Black Lopez, how they posted articles about me, and also how it's like you could feel like this particular media house is on top of you. And sometimes when the good things comes, they don't speak about it. The other time when I had an interview with you, try to thank or the higher powers in the industry. They never said anything about me. Even coming to Polokwane, they never said anything about me. So this particular media house is being engineered by somebody that I don't know. If it's from them, then the stories that they are putting around.
But use the opportunity to just at least give me an example of the one.
It's like them saying Edwin Gyimah is boiling. That time when I was in Skukune, them saying Edwin Gyimah is boiling and grieving and all that. I felt like it wasn't okay. Yeah.
Okay, Mthokozisi.
Okay. So very interesting, because I actually called Edwin not once, not twice, but more than twice, asking him for his side of the story. The story was that he was frustrated over certain issues within the club, and he ended up uttering certain things that management was not happy with, which resulted in him. Now remember, it was March 2024. He had not played for Skukune since November of the previous year. So I called him, and he was very aggressive. He didn't want to speak to me. And I think in the story I did mention that I gave him a right of reply, which he refused to take. And, so, yeah, so I honestly don't understand when he says he feels we don't cover his stories well. And I'm not too sure what he's referring to when he says the good stories, because if I've reached out to you as a journalist and you've refused to speak to me, I'm not going to come back to you and beg you, man. I mean, there's thousands of footballers that I can speak to out there. Surely, if you don't want to talk to me, I'm not going to come back and be trying to talk to you. So, look, at the end of the day, I think it's a two-way, relationship.
But would you say, Mthokozisi, though, because from what I gather and what he's just said now with you on the line, is that there's been a targeted campaign, if I may summarize it that way, against him. Do you see it in the same light?
I don't think so, because you see, this particular story about him leaving Skukune was written by me. I think that's the only story that I've written about him throughout his career. I've never written any other story about him. So the other stories would probably be written by my colleague. But I'm trying to remember stories that we've written about. There's not too many, man. I don't think it would be more than 4 stories that we've written about him. So it's I'm really surprised at what he's saying.
Edwin?
Yep.
He says he's surprised by what he's hearing.
I think one thing that he needs to understand is names are bigger, and names are for souls and human beings. So the moment you say something about someone that is not coming from the person, then you are misquoting. You need to ask the person first before you know the story.
So if he says to you he tried not once or twice to reach out to you, but you didn't.
No,
Yeah.
Mr. Robert, it's a lie, because this person, that's the game that they're doing. He knows. He's aware. That's the game they're doing. Sometimes they can call you, you see their call, you cut the line, and it's like they've spoken to you. So this person, I've once warned them far post, not twice. It's like the third time warning them not to speak about me, because the stories are not coming from me. I'm not a social media person. I'm always in my space. So whatever they speak about me needs to come from me. So for them, what I can say is they can keep on posting things, but at the end of the day, social media has become big. Technology has become bigger. So people's names has become bigger. You can't just go on the street and speak about people. It's because you see something good in me, or you've seen some quality in me. That's when you want to speak. So with them, what I can say is it's from my family. This interview is from my family telling me to come and speak. So with them, if they have 3 million rand for the 1 year that I've stayed in the house not playing soccer, if they have 3 million rand, they must keep on speaking about Edwin Gyimah.
What are you planning on suing them?
I need to, because they've ruined my reputation. They've incited the public. They've infused the public. Because now, Sokola Duma says something, and they are also, doing the same thing. And at the end of the day, they will come out and say, Gyimah didn't sign. Because when I went to Marumo Gallant...
Sorry, just a quick one, because I've got 15 seconds, literally. And I know you I can hear you there in the background. How do you see this one ending? You can hear the anger on the one side. You hear, how do you want to see this ending?
Look, I called him, he dropped the calls, and I sent him text messages, which I can still send again now if he wants to. We've never been malicious, man. I mean, you've heard us on your show several times. You know very well the kind of work that we do. I'm very much open to sit down with him, and if he's keen to do that and have a chat. If he wants to go the legal route, look, well and good. I know our stories were accurate. I'm happy to meet him in court.
Okay, because I've got to go, Mthokozisi. Can I broker this? Would you be, Edwin, keen if I facilitated a meeting between yourself and the editor of Far Post?
Yeah, that would be beautiful, because I've not always want to go to that path whereby... Okay,
so you've said yes. That's perfect. Mthokozisi, on your side, you still say that you'd be keen to sit around the table with Edwin Gyimah. All right, gentlemen, I thank you both. Thanks, Mtogo. Appreciate it, Bob.
Cheers, man.
All right, Edwin Gyimah, thank you. I'll tell you the date, the time, the venue of this as well. I know you wanted to talk about Mufugeng. I've got no time. 2 seconds.
2 seconds?
Yeah.
Can I talk?
2 seconds.
What I want to say to this boy is, like, he's a gold, he's a gold, he's a diamond, he's a star. So what I want to tell this boy is, like, when you get to a table in the higher rank, some people are coming to the table. Some came with muti, some came with breaking people's legs, some came with Christianity, some came with Buddhism, some came with Hinduism. You came with your own way. So on that table, those people on the table will keep on asking questions. How did this boy came to the table?
Let's leave it there. A message to Rele Mufugeng. This has been Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #MSW. Live now on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. At the same